Hello. Hi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hi, this is Christine Crowle here, and welcome. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday. Wow, today is going to be amazing, and I'm going to be talking about young apprentices in the UK. Now, I've been talking about this strategy about cost savings, about budgeting, about crisis planning, about saving money for when and if you get hit by the storm, when 2025 comes in April, for example, due to the inflations that have been hit in the UK and as well around the world, for example. So today, I talk about we have a virtual assistance agency, right? But also I'm talking to you in a way that is also talking about how you can use young apprenticeships in the UK. And I'm talking about young adults, for example, that are doing apprenticeships because, the young adults are our future, for example. And what I want to say is that the young people, for example, in the UK, they're available for work. They're available for work, and they are the future. Children are our future, and if we don't invest in them, then who is going to invest in them? So this is why I'm talking about here today about young apprenticeships in the UK. And it is a cost saving, and it will help with your balance card and also your social value strategies in the community. Because when you're applying for certain contracts, some of these contracts will discuss this. They will talk about, social value. They will talk about how are you going to contribute in the community of where you're providing the service. And this is really important for you to think about this. Now, whether you want to use someone from a particular apprenticeship company, that is entirely up to you. But they've got so much to offer you. The young people of today, they are really good on the internet. They type fast. They've got really good spellings, for example. Their grammar is good. They are good with social media. They're also good at typing as well, very fast, because they're used to being on these computer games, for example. At the end of the day, I want to also offer you value as well. And there's also some grants that you can actually apply for with using the young people. So I want to talk to you about that today. So please, let's dive into this. Please do like, and thank you for liking the comment here, for example. Like and comment. I will answer any questions that you've got, because I want you to be able to get the best for your company. And look at cost savings, balancing with your scorecard and the social value strategies is what today is about. And I want to talk to you about that as well. So let me just make sure that my computer is here. Let me just move my phone over here. So let's dive into this. Okay, so there's a website, which is the government website, that you can find out about Young Apprentice. So the website address is, and I'll put the link here in the description as well, it's www.gov.uk apply apprenticeship. And you'll get to see about what apprenticeship is and who can do apprenticeship. So apprenticeships are usually for people that are 16 and over. And there's no upper age limit. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out to you. You can have an apprentice part-time or full-time, for example, to work for your organization. Okay, it tells you as well about how apprenticeship works and what you'll get. So I'm just going to click the link here. So it just talks to you about the levels of apprenticeship. So there's different levels. For example, there's level degree level, there's higher, there's advanced, there's intermediate, for example, and it can start from 16 and over. But they must be living in the UK. It is not for full-time education, for example, so they'll be able to work for your organization as well as get their qualification in the industry, for example. And they'll also be supported by you, the organization, but also by the organization that they've got the apprenticeship with, for example. So everyone works together, for example. So I just wanted to go through that with you. And when you click, there's this link here that I'm going to put into the website, into the description here about hiring an apprentice, for example. Employing an apprentice is easier than what you actually think. And there is financial support for you and help available from the government. So why would a small business not do this? Okay, so it just tells you about, are you considering to hire an apprentice? What is an apprentice? It goes into that in more depth. Who can be an apprentice? It talks about that, and explore funding options for the apprentice. So you can click the link where it says about exploring the options for the apprentice for funding, for example. So I'm just going to click that briefly. So for example, the government support, they can give you like £1,000 additional funding for businesses with apprentices aged under 19 or between the age of 19 to 24 for care leavers or those that are with an education and health and care, for example, which is known as the EHC plan. Training providers also get funding as well. So there is also additional grants and support for travel and accommodation as well. There's also bursary assistance as well. There's so much that you can get. There's also government funding, like I said, it's available for when they want to upskill as well. And if they meet the minimum of level 2 requirement, they can look at this in their field, for example. So this is something which employers like you can look at doing. And it's going to also, as you know, in April, the apprenticeships, the age groups are, for example, from 16 and upwards, for example, but the price per hour that you would pay is £7.55 per hour, and that starts from April 2025. So why would you not look at that? And I'm going to put the link here so that you can see for yourself after the live here today. So I hope everyone is doing well. As you know, my name is Christine Crowle, and I would love for you to like and subscribe as well, and share as well as, you know, get the notification for when I'm going live here, because I want to show you some cost effective things here. So I'm just going to quickly drink this tea here. So what are your responsibilities as an employer? You got to understand your role as an employer, because when you hire an apprentice, your responsibilities as an employer is that you're giving them on-the-job training. So as an employer, you'll be responsible for delivering the on-the-job training, for example. if you hire the apprentice for example administration role, then you'll need to teach them these tasks that you want them to do, for example. If it's on the job training, it also will cover a broader knowledge and competency which is essential for their role, such as workplace health and safety regulations as well. So like I said, there's minimum wages which starts next year, but it depends really on the age group as well. Okay, now I've given you the lowest paid one, which is £7.55 an hour, for example, but you'd have to do an agreement plan, and a training plan would need to be in place as well. You need to make some reasonable adjustments. You also need to be negotiating funding, so you have the opportunity to negotiate funding arrangements with the training provider, especially in the scenario involving multiple apprentices or predominantly online training. For example, if you're hiring an apprentice at once, you may be able to negotiate a discounted training rate with the provider, for example. So I really wanted to talk to you about this because I'm talking to you about balanced scorecard. I'm talking to you about crisis planning. So I need to also talk to you about all the things that you can do to save your company money, like how I've mentioned that you can use virtual assistants, because we are a virtual assistance agency, for example. We specialize in healthcare, for example, and also there's the apprentice, okay? The apprenticeships, for example, that you can actually receive funds for hiring an apprentice. So check that out. I'm going to put the link there so that you can start looking at that possibly, over the weekend, as soon as you finish listening to this training here. But I'd like for you to listen to the video until the end, please, so that I can give you as much information as possible, so that you can think, you know what, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to have a look at this to see what you can do. Now, you can have the apprenticeship, as well as the virtual assistant agency, which we use. We've got virtual assistants as well, and it's a win-win situation for you. Okay, so like I said, the virtual assistants that we have, they are trained already to do the specific jobs, but they do different jobs. They don't all do the same thing. So it all depends what it is that you want them to do, because not one virtual assistant knows everything. They only specialize in one thing because you want them to be strong in that one thing, for example. Okay, so I'll just go back into the apprentice if you're considering hiring an apprentice, for example. So what you will need to do is, obviously the apprentice will work the hours, whether it's part-time, for example. Usually they do like 2 hours, not 2 hours, they do 2 days a week, for example, or maybe they'll do part-time for your organization. It usually isn't a full-time position because they've got their college as well as their training to do, which reflects the training that you're going to give them. It's like on-the-job placement. Just like if you was going to uni, they would be on the job placement. And this is the same type of thing as well. So I hope that was clear to you, and that there's so much in that, because you actually can get funding. Imagine getting some money on top of what you're doing and what you're offering. So it is beneficial to have a young adult, for example, an apprentice, because like I said, I'm seeing as well that people are getting rid of the Gen Z? I think Gen Z generation. But something, we got to train them. If we don't train them, we can't expect them to just jump in and know what to do straight away. You got to train them. You got to work with them. They're doing their college qualification. Work with them. Don't be impatient. Work with them. Take your time and work with them. and let them do the things that they love to do. Because I think that's where the problem lies, is they're doing something that they don't enjoy doing. So then I think a lot of employers are just thinking that they should just get on with it. But you got to train them, and it could take, some time, 2 months, for example, 3 months, for example, and then they should be okay, and then they'll be able to, practice what they've learnt in their college, for example. So, don't give up quickly, because I see some people get impatient and they lose their patience, the employers, and they're not here to just jump in and just be like a manager and just know what to do straight away. No, they're brand new, so they're learning. It's baby steps. You got to take your time with them and teach them so that they will be stronger in the future. Okay, so I would highly recommend using apprentices, young apprentices in the UK. Okay, because it will help with cost savings. It will also help with your balanced scorecard, and what it will also help with is your social value strategies for when you're applying for contracts. You will see on there that there is a section on there which covers young apprenticeships, for example. So this is the reason why you really should look at considering them, to enable you to say that yes, you're committed to the social value policies that you have and that you've created in your organization, and that this is part of your strategy. Okay, so that's a good thing, that you're building, you're working with young adults, you're building for the future. Because if we don't do it, then like I said, no one's going to do it. Then what kind of future will we have? Okay, so do consider that. Right, so I will continue. So look at how it's not just about you creating opportunities, but also delivering cost savings. You're building social value. You're being part of a community, and you can be proud to say so. And it's aligning with the balanced scorecard strategy that I talked about yesterday and the day before, for example, which I'm going to go more into detail when the bootcamp, the mini bootcamp, happens on the 27th and the 28th. Please save the date. Please attend, because you are going to be blown away. I'm going to give you so much information, because this is part of the bootcamp that we've got in January, which is a paid bootcamp. We do have some people that's already started paying. Like I said as well, we need to also make you aware of that, because I would hate for you to miss out on the bootcamp that's happening in January, which is a 3-day bootcamp, and it is amazing, but I'm going to be covering on the 27th and the 28th, which is next week. It's going to be from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and I'm going to be going more in depth with that, but I go into deeper in depth, and you get the templates at the paid bootcamp. It is something that you cannot miss. You've got to be prepared for 2025. April 2025, you got to be prepared to be the leader and be the winning company for your organization in your industry. Okay, so let's get started. So like I said, for you, the business, it will reduce your labor costs. You'll have access to skilled future workforce, and there'll be a financial incentive from the UK government programs. Hello. This is the one place that they're giving, So for communities, it also increases employment opportunities, and it enhances social mobility, especially for the underrepresented groups. Did you know that businesses hiring apprentices can save thousands annually by reducing your recruitment and training costs while qualifying for grants and tax relief? The companies that they come from will train them as well as you training them. You just have to let them know what it is that the job is for. There's a training plan, and they'll work towards that training plan with you and the organization that is giving them the qualification. You're helping young people to get a qualification. I'm so excited about this because I think it's such a good deal. I've got a really good friend who is, she knows how this works and has been doing this for a long time and is supporting young people to get jobs. And this is why I'm here talking to you today, because I'm so passionate about this, that we need to help the young people to get the jobs. They're going to uni, they're going to college, and they come out and there's nothing. We got to give them a chance. Okay? They're good on their phones, they're good on the internet, they're good at social media, they're good at I don't know whether I should mention TikTok, they're good on YouTube, they're good on social media platforms, you name it, marketing, they can help with that. They're good at writing blogs, they're good at emailing, they're very good. I can't fault them on that. Yes, there's going to be some good hires and there's going to be not so good hires, but that is the same no matter what age group people are. I've had good hires and bad hires no matter what age group, even up to 60 years old. So let's look at this in a real world scenario. Okay, so it will show to your customers that you're committed to community growth. You want the community to grow and you want to support the local youth, so that they don't get into trouble or perhaps get frustrated or become depressed or feel let down. We want to be able to help support the community as well. It will also improve your brand and your reputation as a socially responsible business. You'll be able to put this on your website. You'll be able to give this information when you're applying for contracts. It will make you stand out as well. So, internal process perspective as well. The apprentices, they will bring you a fresh pair of eyes and innovation, improving efficiency. Look, they know a lot of things that the elder or older generation, mature people, don't know. So it will be a good thing for you to do. They're more flexible. You can mold them more into what you want for your organization as well. You can also streamline your recruitment and training pipeline, which will also reduce turnover costs as well. So from a learning and growth perspective, build future-ready workforce by training apprentices in key skills. Invest in mentorship programs to develop both young talent and current employees. You can't get this wrong. If you do this, as well as with like the virtual assistants, like I said, you will be able to put that money, the crisis fund, into your crisis bank account each month to save up for if and when the crisis hits you. You'll be able to respond to that challenge and overcome that challenge. So, social value and community, and I'm just going to go into this as well. Social value, it isn't just a buzzword. It really is a strategic advantage to you by hiring apprentices. You will be supporting the local economy. You'll contribute to diversity and inclusion goals. You'll align with the environmentally, social and governance policy principles. Imagine you as an organization, you're going to stand out. So businesses like the councils, for example, NHS, etc., they'll want to use you because you're working towards that goal, the social value goal. It's there. Everybody's talking about it. Look it up if you haven't seen it. But if you're in healthcare, you would have seen it on a regular basis. So when businesses invest in apprenticeships, it creates a ripple effect, improving community well-being and boosting long-term social benefits, for example. So the apprentices is just a small part of the community, but there's other parts of the community that you can also be involved in with regards to social value as well. But I'm talking about apprentices today, okay? So how do you build apprentices into your contracts? You want to be able to look at the bid proposals. It will highlight your commitment to apprenticeships in tender applications. I was speaking with a client just the other day, actually yesterday, about this particular thing, that it is important, because she was wondering how it would fit in. For example, she didn't quite understand what that meant, for example. So I explained to her, and we are working on a contract for her to do with this particular thing, you know, because these things take time to answer correctly, okay? Many contracts now evaluate social value metrics, so this gives you the competitive edge as an organization. The KPIs in the contracts, it includes the matrix like the number of apprentices trained or retained in your deliverables. So you could say the percentage is that you've taken on 10 in 1 year. I'm just saying that's if you're a big organization, you may say we've taken on 1 or 2, for example, 3 to the maximum, for example, in your office, for example. Then you can also look at the partnerships. Collaborate with local councils. Let them know what it is that you're doing, that you are taking on young apprentices. Go and visit the local councils, the schools, as well as apprenticeship providers to meet with the contracts requirement sorry, there's a little fly flying around. Contract requirements. So for example, a clause, you could say that we have X number of project workforce that are apprentices, and you can demonstrate both the financial and social value, for example. So I wanted to go through an example of how you can use the young apprentices in your organization. Now it's time for you to drop a question in the comment section here about what cost savings or balanced scorecards, or are you intending to integrate apprenticeships into your contracts. I would love to hear your comments, because I'd love for this information, because I want to know whether what I've said today was impactful for you, and whether you'll be taking this forward when you're looking at applying for contracts. So I also want to say to you, thank you for joining me today in this session. I really do appreciate it. I want to also say that young apprenticeships are just about, it's not just about ticking the boxes, right? They are a smart strategy for you saving costs, delivering social value, building a stronger future for businesses and the community, for example. So why not build this now? Why not start doing this now? Start looking into this now and look at building the future, because they are the future. So let's help them to build the future, and you'll be a part of that, something to be proud of. So I hope that was helpful to you. There is a link here which I'm going to put in the chat as well after this video. I'm going to put the link here for you to see how to hire an apprentice, for example. I'll also put the links for our live mini boot camp, which is on the 27th and the 28th of December. 2024. It starts at 2 p.m, finishes at 7 p.m. UK time. For example, the official site, there is the government website that you can go to as well. That serves as a comprehensive guide as well for information and services across various sectors, including business, education, and employment. And it covers apprenticeships. It provides information on apprenticeship programs, funding, and employer guidance. It also, additionally, you can look at the UK Parliament website as well. It allows citizens to look at this, look at the data as well. Okay, look at the data for apprenticeships. Look at the organizations that you can look at working with. Look at the legalities as well, the legislation, for example. Just go through things, make sure that you're clued up so that you, when you're ready to meet with the apprenticeship company, that you've got an idea of what you're looking for and what you would like the person to do, so they can help to create a training plan with you so that the apprentice will feel fulfilled because they know what it is that they're meant to do from, from the hour to hour, for example, as well as you'll be happy that they're doing the work as well, and that there's someone there that you can go to and turn to who is the apprenticeship company, and they will also support you in the training program of what the person is meant to do in your organization. It's a win-win situation, and it's something which is amazing. They're offering grants for this. There's finance here that you can get for this, so it's something that you can look at getting. So I hope that that was helpful for you all today, and I've really appreciated you being here today. I also want to say thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and also for you being here. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to just continuing educating and providing as much value as possible to you and to the people that are listening. Share it if you know of someone that would benefit as well. So I look forward to speaking with you all soon, and thank you so much, and I will see you on the internet. I'll be here again tomorrow at the usual time, which will be 7 p.m. UK time. I hope that you've enjoyed today's training. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless. Bye.